Ready?
Yeah, let's go. I need to feel comfortable so that I can
You've
look
got
more.
30 seconds. What are you doing?
I'm trying to look like, hello, welcome to the Bra Show. How you doing? Welcome to the Bra Show.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's go. I need to feel comfortable so that I can look more.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to look like, hello, welcome to the Bra Show.
It's a little bit behind, so you should.
How you doing? Welcome to the Bra Show.
Are you going to stop that? What are you doing?
Hi and welcome to the hustlers. Like question time where Jenna is running to be your president for welfare and equal opportunities. As we've done with the other candidates, I'll allow you 2 minutes to tell us about yourself and why you're running.
Okay, well, as Bright said, I'm Jenna Clark and I'm running against Ron to be your president for welfare and equal opportunities. I strongly believe that there isn't enough awareness around welfare in our university, and my main aim is to make sure that this is changed. A lot of students I've spoken to didn't know what the welfare side of this position entails, so to clarify, I'm here to look after your well-being and your happiness. I want to make welfare campaigns more fun and accessible, as well as improving advertising around events and getting more clubs and societies involved. I'll be getting out and about more and hopefully bringing welfare to the students so that you don't have to come and try and find me. As well as this, I want to have your welfare represented within clubs and societies, whether it's by creating a new position in committees or incorporating it into an existing one. In terms of equal opportunities, I'll work closely with the liberation officers, helping them to achieve their goals. Personally, I'm not part of a minority group, although like many of my fellow students, I have had to deal with issues such as sexism whilst at university, but this is just the tip of the iceberg and it's not the only thing I want to tackle. I want to find out exactly what minority groups want in order to represent them to the best of my ability, and I strongly believe that I am the best candidate for this position.
Okay, I'm just going to go straight to the questions on Twitter. If you've got any questions, use the hashtag AUSA elections and I'll read your questions out. The first question we've got is on Twitter from Rude Valentine. It says, why do you want to be a SAB rather than going to a grad scheme?
Over my time at university, I've been involved in Nightline. So for 3 years, I've been a volunteer, and I was the deputy coordinator last year, and I'm the coordinator this year. And I've seen improvements, but I don't feel that it's enough yet, and I feel like there's so much more that I could do. And yeah, I really want to just help students more.
Okay. If you've got any more questions, remember it's hashtag AUSA elections. We've got another question from Amy. It says, what experience do you have that makes you suitable for the job?
Okay, I kind of covered that then. But
yes.
Being a volunteer at Nightline means that I've had a lot of experience with active listening, and I will take on board things people say, and if they have got any issues or anything, then I'm a good person to talk to.
Okay. We've got a couple of questions that were already sent in.
Okay.
And these, a couple of them are welfare specific and they're very equal opportunity. So some of the welfare ones, it says, what in your opinion is the most pressing welfare issue students in Aberdeen are facing today, and what will you do about it? So I'm guessing one key issue.
Oh, it's so difficult to choose one issue.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of stigma attached to mental health issues, and there are a lot of students who do suffer with it, whether they realise it or not. And I just want to destigmatise it, and I don't want it to be like 1 week a year that we do it. I think it needs to be continuous to allow people to talk about it more and hopefully get more help, and making it a bigger issue, or having more awareness about the issue and advertising more services that can help them will hopefully help out a lot more students struggling with that.
Okay. We've got another question that says 12% of our student population are mature students. How do you prioritize? How do your priorities for the year ahead reflect this reality?
Well, I want to hold events. I want to carry on the events that have been done this year and make them bigger and better. No thanks. And I want to try and include them as much as possible, and as much as they want to be included, and try and make other events that are maybe at the moment focused around undergraduates more appealing as well to mature students.
Okay, you did talk about including people. How do we make it? And one of AUSA's criticism is the fact that we are not open enough.
Yeah.
We don't know outreach enough. So what are you going to do to make to get more people in?
Well, I'm hoping to include more clubs and societies and using social media more to kind of spread events and things so that more people find out about them and there's more attendance. And hopefully they'll come along, they'll have fun or they'll learn a lot, they'll pass on the message. And also I'll be bringing more events to students. I'll be around campus. I'll try and make sure everyone knows who I am and where to find me.
Okay. The liberation campaigns, you did mention that in your opening remarks. What are you going to do with the liberation campaign different from what has been done this year?
Just try and find out exactly what it is that they want from me, because I'm definitely coming from more of a welfare background, so I have got a lot to learn, but I'm willing to learn and I'm enthusiastic and I just want to try and help them in the ways they think will be most beneficial for them.
Okay. Guys, if you've got any more questions, remember, use the hashtag AUSA elections, otherwise, not otherwise.
You're running out of
Otherwise.
questions.
No, I'm not running out of questions. We've got 15,000 students. I'm sure we have a question for them. Okay, well, for equal opportunities, how has the experience at hold on, I can never read. This is from Louisa Clark. How has the experience as Nightline coordinator prepared you for this role?
Well, I've had to massively improve my organisation skills, especially because not only have I got Nightline, I'm the captain of the lacrosse seconds team, which takes up a lot of time as well, and not time that I'm unwilling to give. I enjoy it, so I don't mind. I've got work. I'm doing Star Award as well as my university course, and so this year I've really had to learn how to balance my time, and I think that's something I've become quite good at. And I can take that forward next year and use that to kind of spur me on. And I also know how to make people feel included. I think Nightline now definitely feels more like a unit rather than an organisation, and I want to kind of bring that forward.
Okay. What is AUSA's strength for you?
I think one of AUSA's strengths is that it has so many different things within it that there's definitely something that appeals to everybody. And there's always something going on that you could get involved in. But I think its weakness is that it doesn't have all of the students involved in it, and the more students that get involved, the better the association will be, because it won't just be the select few who spend their time in Butcher who are affecting the way the organisation is run.
I know you've already touched on it, so what is AUSA's strength?
Yeah. You already asked me that
one. The organisation's weakness.
Yeah. It just needs to reach out to more students, and that's why next year I will be going out and I'll be showing face around campus. People will know who I am, and hopefully they'll feel comfortable coming to me if they have got an issue, whether it's within their university course or issues they're struggling with personally. I'll be there for them, whatever.
Okay. What other officer do you see yourself working with the most if you were elected?
That's a difficult one, because I think it's important, especially within welfare, to work with everybody, because there's academic support that people need, so that'll be working with education and employability. There's the volunteering side of it, because things like Nightline, that's an organisation that comes under my remit to oversee it and things, but it's also a volunteering thing, so I want to make sure all the volunteers are happy too. And there are so many ways that I think all the SABs can collaborate, and I think that really needs to be pushed through next year, especially in terms of raising awareness about welfare, because that does definitely fall in under every branch, I think.
Okay. We've got one here. So, this is one of the questions that was sent earlier on. What will your first action be once in office?
Raising awareness.
Okay. Do you want to explain?
Well, my campaign that I'm hopefully using for my elections process, I'm hoping to turn that into kind of like a body confidence thing, and I just want the campaigns to be bigger and better and more fun, and at the same time helping out the people who are getting involved in them. So watch out for that closer to the time, and you'll see what I mean.
I think I'm not next question here. It's coming in now. Which Which other? No, okay, hold on a minute. Hold on, we're trying to get more questions. Okay, if you don't get more questions, saying, oh, hold on a minute. That's okay, Joanna. Okay. To describe, if we asked you to describe AUSA in 3 words, what would it be?
AUSA.
Yes.
Welcoming,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's limited. Can I just explain that a bit? Just
Yeah, go
because
for it. That's right.
I think it's limited because of the fact that everything is based very much in book chart, and I think that, as Rob said previously, the move to a new building will encourage people to get out more, hopefully. And the third one, it's, I don't know how to explain, but I just think that it has a lot of potential, and I think that just needs to be used, and it needs to be more inclusive. But, yeah.
Okay. How will you tackle sexism on campus? If so, how?
I think there's a big kind of lad culture, which I think having a welfare officer within sports clubs and societies, which is what is one of my points I manifested that I really want to push through, will hopefully help to reduce that within sports clubs and things, and raise more awareness about it, and hopefully within clubs and things. It's just about raising awareness and making people realise that some of the things they do, although they don't realise it, might have an effect on somebody else.
Okay. What exactly will you be doing?
What exactly?
Yeah. So.
Well, there was the
campaigns, events.
I know, but at the moment I've focused more in terms of getting hard things down on the mental health side of things and the things that I'm more familiar with. But in terms of sexism, it is about raising awareness and using all the resources that we have, get things published in the Guardian and things, and make people realise.
Okay. Equality and diversity training. At the moment, it's not something that's compulsory for our staff members.
Okay.
Is it something that you'll be looking into?
Yeah, I think it's so important that lecturers and everybody is aware of the differences that the people's backgrounds and their abilities and things have on the way they learn things too. And I think that it's important that everybody's kind of not just up to date, but knows the effects of all these things.
Okay. So one group that who tend not to participate a lot in AUSA doing is first aid student medics.
Yeah.
How do you have any strategy on how you're going to get them more involved in the welfare side of things?
Using social media and getting in contact with them more, raising awareness up there. I want to spend time up at Forest Hill as well, so that they know my face and they know that despite the fact they're up there and SABs are more based around Old Aberdeen, they can still come to me and I will still come to them.
Okay. If I want to ask you one thing on your manifesto, that is the core, that if you are not able to do anything, that one thing that you definitely want to do, that you want to be remembered for, what would that be?
I just want to raise awareness. I don't think you can do anything if people aren't aware of of welfare and equal opportunities. There's no point doing campaigns if people don't know they're going on. So awareness is a huge issue for me, and is going to be the main thing I'm going to be doing across all aspects.
Okay. On the welfare side of things, we know housing is a massive issue at the moment in the city. Have you got any plans, and what are they to tackling housing accommodation for students?
But I want to carry on the fantastic work that the housing cooperative and stuff, and also the events that are coming up soon that you're running, which are the houses fair and stuff, and the accommodation things. I want to carry on with that and make sure students do know where they can go, and also the booklet and things. I think they're just fantastic ideas, and they need to be picked up a bit more.
How are we going? Have you got any plans on how to engage students who do not? I think we already talked about insular inclusivity, but so students who do not traditionally involve in AUSA, but we know use our welfare services a lot. So postgrad, international students, parenting education. Have you got any plans on how you're going to be dealing with them?
Just going to them and communicating more directly with them, and whether it's through emails which can get lost in the system, or just asking them to be involved in campaigns and things, so they feel like they're part of it and that they're not being left out or forgotten about.
Okay. One thing that I think we normally get, you've been involved in sports, but one thing that what's it called? Some of the questions that have came through the email,
Mhm.
and one thing that normally people always attack sports,
Yeah.
sportos or whatever they're called, about on the welfare on the welfare side of things is lad culture. You did mention
Yeah,
about lad
like
culture. What are you going? Have you got any plans in working with the president for sports, wherever it will be, in tackling these things? And do you think we have that issue in Aberdeen actually?
I think we do have that issue. I mean, Liquid Wednesdays, like you see it everywhere, this lad culture and stuff. And I think that it's an extremely difficult issue to tackle because unless people want to, they're not going to, they'll just carry on, which is one of the reasons that I want to introduce a welfare officer into all clubs and societies. So I don't think it's just limited to sports. I think that it's unfair to pin it all on one group of people. And I think that having a welfare officer within these clubs might just raise a bit more awareness about it, and things like some initiations, which they're not allowed to be called, but yeah, I think issues like that need to be tackled more, and kind of like some boundaries.
Yes, I know you've talked about communication. You've talked about Gaudi a lot in social media. I think one thing that we know that's like it's been used a lot this year. So is there any other things that we can use to get them more involved?
I think Facebook is a really good way of engaging students, but I think that events need to be shared more and they need to be exciting. And like one of the things I want to try and do is have like a grown-up tea party kind of thing where there's like hopefully lots of exciting events and stuff going on. I don't want to say anything in case it doesn't happen, but and I want to make it something that people are excited about going to, and once they have been to a couple of events, if they have fun, they'll want to come back to more and things like that.
Okay. Is it something that the welfare team have done this year that you'd like to carry on?
Definitely the stress less thing, that, which involved Nightline as well, which was really good, and I think it raised a lot of awareness. And also the mental health thing. Sorry, I forgot other people don't know. The mental health awareness and stuff, and having people being able to put down what they think about it and hand that in anonymously, and getting more feedback and things.
Okay. Have they done something this year that you wouldn't like to see next year?
I wouldn't like to see next year. No. I think that doing, like, as long as you're doing events and things, I don't think there are particularly bad events you can do. Although on another note, I do want to try and make students feel safer around campus and stuff, just to get this in. And I'm hoping to get like self-defense classes for girls and boys, and there'll be things people have to sign up to. Are we ready?
Okay, so I'll just get the last question.
Okay.
It's on Twitter from Louisa. It says, do you feel your campaigning body supports your promising from your manifesto? Do you feel your campaign embodies what you are promising from your manifesto?
Yeah, my campaign revolves around representing the student body, and yeah, definitely. I want to really put forward the things that students are having issues with, and help those come to light and make it easier to talk about all of those things. And I think if my campaign is allowed, then it'll definitely highlight the kind of thing that I want to make people feel like they can be themselves and they don't have to try and fit into a certain group, that it doesn't matter where you come from or who you are, you belong. And, yeah.
How would you describe yourself in your manifesto in 3 words?
I'm caring, I'm compassionate, and I'm enthusiastic.
Okay, thank you, Jenna. Okay, as I said with Rob's one earlier on, we've got reopening nomination in all the elections. So if you don't like any of the candidates, feel free to take them. Yes, there'll be more details about them on their website, hopefully by tonight. Yeah, thank you, and see you tomorrow.